I'm listening.
Because that's a lot of key light. Okay, no, that's straight. That's straight. Actually, that's perfect. Okay.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect.
So y'all, you gonna stop playing with that.
Okay, I'm nervous.
So guys, I am here with my baby sister and my baby brother. They don't look like they babies, do they? So first of all, let me say this. Why you gonna look like that? Why you gonna look like that? So she is 2 years younger than me.
Here we go.
And you're like what? What are you? 1 year?
No, 4
He's
years.
older than me.
4 years younger.
So you're like what?
35.
When was you born? What year?
78.
He's a June 78. He's older.
Is he 78?
Yes.
Oh wow. So they're both about. Here you go. They're both about a year. I know I don't. About a year and a half younger than me. But y'all know why we are here. Well, y'all know why we're here because one day on my channel, they know what am I on? A home payoff journey. And one day I was talking and I said I'm gonna be like the first person in my family to pay off my house. That's what I said.
That's a good dream.
Guys, guess what? That is not true. It's not true. They are the first people in this family to pay off their home. Let's talk about it. They did that. Wow. Wow. So this is the thing. This is the thing. Let me ask the first question. When did you guys buy your house?
The day we got married.
Oh, wow.
For real?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
We brought it on our honeymoon. When we was on our honeymoon, they had us fill out the paperwork via fax, and we came home to our house.
Is this in my frame? How come I never knew that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is freaking amazing. See, this takes this whole conversation a whole nother direction.
Mm-hmm. So
Because
July 19th, 2008.
We never went back to the house.
Wow. July 19th, 2008. That was how many years ago? You know I don't know math.
17 years ago.
It will be 16 years ago.
I say that is amazing. Because how many times have you heard people say they put all this money into a wedding, into a honeymoon, and then they have a regret saying they wish they would have invested some of that for their future?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Did y'all go on a honeymoon?
Yeah, we did.
Wow. I was in their wedding, so I know that part. Wow, and y'all bought a house.
Yeah, same time.
I'm sorry, mind blown. I didn't even realize that. So wow, so you bought a house on the honeymoon, fax papers in.
Yep.
And all of that. But now my question is, because this is what I know, because I'm on a house payoff journey, I get a lot of comments in my comments basically saying, why would you do that? Why would you pay off a house?
Financial freedom.
Financial freedom. So take me back. When did you first decide that you was going to make this a goal to pay off your home?
You remember the conversation?
I
You remember the conversation?
I
She wrote it down. She was writing it down.
Yeah. So for me, physically, when I first got a house, everything that I was not taught, I basically wanted to do the opposite. So I already just knew I've always been on top of my bills, and my whole goal was I just want to be debt free. Mm-hmm. And I just knew this from within. Yeah. You know, I just want to have something that belongs to me that no one can take from me. You know, we lived a rough life. We had a lot of things that was taken from us. Did we? Yeah. You know how many times I done moved in with a family member or be evicted and we lose things and don't have stuff anymore, can't get back into the home we was in. So there were times where we didn't even live together because
that family couldn't take us all in. So I would go over here to live, she would go over there to live. And I think we did that a lot throughout our lives.
And it just became the norm.
It was the norm.
It was just part of life. So I was determined that I'm not going to repeat that same cycle. Like, I don't want to live that way. I don't want to be afraid to wake up and not be able to get into my house and get what I need or what I paid for, what belongs to me.
Because we literally had to break into our house to get our stuff.
Yeah.
Like through windows.
Climbing through the windows, get a garbage bag, put as much as you can in, and leave before you get caught being in the house. So
yeah,
we lost a lot. And I don't want to lose anymore. So for me, that was just an internal thing that I was determined on. And so I basically told him, hey, I want to pay the house off.
And what did you think when she said that?
Oh,
come on, keep it funky, Beaver.
No, I always wanted to do that.
Okay.
Is he changing his story?
Pause. Wait a minute. Come on.
No, what's up?
No, because at first she wasn't on board with it. He wasn't in agreement with it.
Because I didn't know how to pay extra money towards the bill. I didn't know how to do it.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I say keep it real.
Yeah.
Because there are so many people out there that's their same story.
Yeah,
while it seems, okay, that's cute, they don't know how they can do that.
It seems impossible.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, let's say this, because a lot of people, like they look at me, I say I want to pay off my house. It seems very realistic because I'm a high income earner. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. How much money y'all make? No, let me stop.
I don't know.
I'm going to say we definitely don't. We don't even, together, we don't even make what you make by yourself.
Yeah.
So.
And I say that to say, paying off a house is for everybody. Like, this is an example right here that once you set a financial goal, that's when it becomes possible. That's when it becomes realistic.
Mm-hmm. One thing we did was write down our goals. Mm-hmm. So we write down our goals every month and we see what we're doing. So if I want to put 500 on bills, I'll say that's my goal. Mm-hmm. So I can accomplish my small term goal.
Okay, but I also want to take it back because you already know I pre-interviewed y'all. So don't play with me. I want to take it back. I want to take it back to July 7th. I don't know, I'm making up a date.
She's on the cruise?
Nope.
July 10th.
You know what I'm talking about.
2018, I believe.
Thank you. Let's talk about that.
That's where it triggered. That's where he was fully on board.
Now, let's go back a little bit before that. And we're going to let y'all know. Let's go back a little bit before that. Let's go back to when you guys decided to be grown adults and get a life insurance policy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, I want to take it back to that. Let's take it back to that.
Funny.
So, they were getting life insurance policy.
That was hard.
I know, but hold on.
That was hard.
You know the part where you actually have to get the people to come out and do your physical and all of that. Now, Shauna, tell me.
About that.
Tell me, Shauna, when you got your life insurance policy, what was? Tell me about that.
All right, so we had someone come to the house to do our life insurance policy, and because we had the house, that was the whole thing. The guy basically talked to us and said, hey, you guys own your house. If something was to happen, you don't want to leave the other person stuck with this house bill, because currently you're both paying it together. So I went ahead and said, hey, what's the value of the house? I want to double it because I want to be able to pay the house off and then still have money to, for the family if something was to happen to me. Mm-hmm. This joker here was like, no, hold on.
I still hear somebody crinkling their bottle of water. Now, hold on. Time out. Wait a minute. Are y'all going to tell me if this stops recording?
Not yet.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I got it. TMZ. I'll beat you to it.
So, I made a comment prior to the insurance policy. I made a comment, and I told my dear husband here that I was made to be a married woman and I'm going to die a married woman. Mm-hmm. And so he basically took that and was like, okay, if I pass before you, I refuse to let another man live in the house that I paid for. So therefore, I'm only getting a policy that's going to cover my half. I'm not covering your head.
So what was your policy?
So I initially got a $250,000 policy. He got a $75,000 policy.
No, but we always got 200 still.
Huh?
We still got 200.
No, you would.
So we got 75 in the house paid. That's cool. I just
Well,
don't want nobody living.
This was before the house was paid off.
So you said
I still don't want nobody living in my house.
okay.
No.
All right. So your first policy, you decided you were gonna be petty to this imaginary future man in your head who wasn't gonna live in your house. So you said, I'm only getting a $75,000 policy, enough to pay my half.
No. Enough to pay half of it, right? And then we have insurance to pay for the other. It's just a half of the house. Just a half of the house.
What insurance are you adding?
Because the insurance
You can't take mine if I'm.
No, so you get your money and then half of the house paid off. I still will have that. No, because as a man, I'm gonna bust my tail to provide. I don't care if I die or anything. I'm gonna bust my tail to provide for my family. So I don't want nobody else living off my hard work.
Okay.
So that's my thing on it. So any man can understand that.
That's what millionaires.
Y'all understand that? All you men, y'all understand that?
See, it's a hard conversation. It's a hard conversation.
I see what he's saying.
It's a hard conversation for men.
I know what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's a hard conversation for men.
But I feel like this goes back to when people say they only want to get so much insurance policy because they don't want people to fight over the money, or they don't want people to do this, or they want people to do that. But at the end of the day, an insurance policy, if needed, is supposed to make those you leave behind in a better position.
But
I know, but you got that man.
No. But the first.
But all because she said she's gonna die every woman.
Exactly. So if somebody, so if you saying I'm gonna die a married woman, and I'm saying I'll bust my tail in case anything happens to me, I'm gonna bust my tail to take care of you. So, she already saying she gonna be married, die a married woman. So what am I supposed to do?
All right. So then, what ended up happening is, how many years after that was it? The initial insurance policy.
This was when we first bought the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got it then.
And then I'll go ahead to July 10th
Of 2018.
of 2018. What happened?
Life changed.
Life changed.
Life happened.
Beaver, do you want to tell us what
Oh
happened?
no, I had a stroke.
He had a stroke, y'all, and he young. He younger than me.
Yeah, I had a stroke.
You've made that known before.
I'm just saying, the reason why I say this is because people think that people young in their early 40s, was you even 40?
I was 40. I was 43, I think.
43, that things like that don't happen. That things like that can't happen, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I say that.
Yeah.
So you had a stroke?
Yeah, and I don't know what caused the stroke, so, but I was busting my tail to, to accomplish that goal.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was thinking about it, so I was like, it was mixed feelings all the time. 'Cause I was working like crazy, and I should have rested a lot. Yeah.
That balance, so freaking important.
That balance is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you had the stroke, did it change your feelings about the fact that you got the little baby policy? I remember when you first told me, Beaver. Don't be switching up your answers now.
No, I mean, it's mixed feelings still, because I don't want, the whole thing is, she can have anything I have.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, sometimes you gotta learn how to communicate and say, that wasn't the time to say, I'm being.
Okay, but we get it.
Yes, yes,
That was a
yes,
conversation prior to a policy.
Yeah, but you said that, so.
And you held on to it.
Yeah, I held on to it,
But honestly, but you even, when you think about it, like after he had a stroke and then he realized, like, wow, like anything can happen. Like, life is precious. It's not guaranteed. So if something happens to me now, because we did pay off the house, we wasn't on the road paying off because when he had his stroke, the government was trying to get rid of him. And then they eventually let him go. And so now we're in a place where we're just living off of one income. Mm-hmm. And he's still trying to hustle to make ends meet and everything. And then the conversation of that policy changed because it was like, wow, what am I leaving my family with? So when we try to get another policy, he's denying it. Because you're now considered high risk. So we're not going to give you anything extra. Mm-hmm. So now we're stuck with this policy. So
you think it's a bad policy?
No,
it's not a bad policy.
It's not.
It's just the fact that
it's more than what.
No.
It's more than what.
It's not that it's a bad policy. It's just the fact that at the time before the stroke, you could have maximized the potential of the policy, and then after the stroke, it was like now you're not qualified to maximize the potential of the policy.
Yeah,
because of the health.
So my my thing is, if you communicating with someone else in a relationship, yes, communicate because it's a tough conversation.
Yes.
So if it's a tough conversation,
you're the only man for me.
No, but it's a tough conversation.
And you're the only man for me too.
Yes. So if you're having a tough conversation, a financial conversation, and everything, it don't.
Be careful with what you say.
Yeah, be careful with what you say. Yeah, truthfully.
In 2025.
Yes.
In 2025.
Yes.
Yes.
So
So that's all right. So that's good. But all right. Now let me ask you this. I want to divert because this is something that I also get questions on the channel about with Jay and I. We haven't had a chance to talk about the video about how you handle finances as a couple.
I love it.
So I just want to ask y'all about that. As a married couple who've been married since 2008, how do you guys handle finances as a couple?
We have not split bills, but just say if I pay mortgage or whatever. I don't know how it goes, but
so I'm the yeah. Well, what's really funny
do y'all combine your money?
We don't. So this is what we do. We have one set account for our bills,
yes.
And we put the same amount in every month faithfully. So from his paycheck, the same amount gets deposited. My paycheck, the same amount gets deposited.
So is it like 50-50?
No, not 50-50.
Well, we put the same exact amount in.
Yeah.
And then I'm the one who basically...
So like budgets. You put 1,000, you put 1,000. So you mean the same amount from each other?
Right.
Or just the same amount month to month?
The same amount every month.
Every month.
Every paycheck.
Every paycheck.
But is it the same amount?
The same amount.
You?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same equal amount.
So it feels like 50-50.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm the main one that budgets and distributes and pays off the bills. So hence I pay his insurance policy, which I should have just increased it myself. He wouldn't have known.
I wouldn't have known.
He really wouldn't have.
Yeah.
That was on me.
Yeah.
I'm the one who paid the premium for it. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, that's what we do. We basically have a main account that we handle the bills out of. And we basically from the very beginning, we figured out what the average amount of our monthly bills cost is, so we know what we're going to pay monthly. So for my paycheck, it automatically gets deposited into that account.
We don't know how much each other get paid. We never seen each other check.
What?
Take that back. I know how much.
Yeah, he know how much.
I know everybody. I know his.
Yeah, but
he just chooses not to know.
We never knew.
He loves to live in the dark. He chooses not to know.
Yeah. Because if my bills paid, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I don't really care. You know what I mean? If she makes $1,000 or $2, I don't care. Because I'm gonna have my money. So
yeah.
It doesn't matter. But I never seen a paycheck. I never asked her how much she made.
Yeah, but I see his all the time.
Yeah, she probably snooping or something.
I don't have to snoop. I just ask you for it. You just give it to me.
Yeah, because if I pay my bills, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because. Well, I DJ, so I'm DJing and I do other stuff. So it's like,
So he has a day job and he has his other side hustles, like what we like to call them. So he DJs also. So he has a DJ business. basketball coach.
Yeah.
And then I know you also have side hustles too.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your job. Who are you? What do you do?
So, day job, child support. I do deliveries. I do taxes. Pretty much anything.
Yeah.
So even when I was at the government, I was at the government for 20 years, or 21 years, and I still paid the same way. It was always so. If I have, just say, if I have a bonus check, I still put the same money in. So it's kind of like, so we never cared about money. You know, like,
so it's like, as long as you put the piece in to go with the bills, your money is your money to do whatever.
Yeah.
How do y'all handle vacations?
So we'll say what we want to do. You know, sometimes
It varies.
It depends.
Because sometimes he'll just be like, "Oh, I want to go here," and he'll just pay it and say, "You know, I got our flights or whatever."
Yeah, and she said, "I want to pay."
Okay, when we get there, I'll take care of whatever. So it's not no like real set, division in that part of it. It's just like a lot of times he knows I like to travel, so a lot of times he'll be the ones who initiate, or he'll say, "You want to go here? Let me go ahead and take care of this," or I know someone who I could get good tickets for the flights or whatever. I'll go ahead and take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I say that because I've heard y'all's conversations, which I be finding so funny. Like, for instance, y'all had a kitchen. Y'all remodeled y'all kitchen.
Oh, that's funny too.
Yeah. And then I heard like Beaver would say something like, "I'm gonna give you $2,000 towards something," or like y'all would be.
Yeah.
She never no. So yeah, I'd say I'm giving her $2,500, right? Towards, just the counters, right? Because she may want some extra counters, but she'll never give me an answer, a plain forth answer. It's never. So one time I got furniture, right? Okay. Hey, how you doing? One time I got furniture. Yeah, I had to take her to the furniture store. So she would never tell me exactly what she wanted. So everything stuck because I can't just buy something and she don't like it. So everything I had to get.
So he pretty much just had me walk around the store and was like, "You like that?" And I was like, "Oh no, I like this, I like that." And so I'm picking out stuff not knowing
that he already had something in mind.
That he was going to buy it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he needed to know what I wanted so he can. So I'm home one day and the doorbell rings and furniture people are there. And they're like, "Oh." And I'm looking like, "That's what I picked out."
Yeah. But this is the thing. When you're making fast money like DJing and security, I have money, like I have good months of money and then maybe slow. So when I have good months, I want to pay it for everything during that time. Sometimes she'll say, "Wait." I can't wait because I'm gonna help somebody or somebody needs something. So a lot of things I gotta give in heart. So I always take from myself and give to others.
I love that you know that about yourself.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, because I know if I got it, I'm gonna give it. I might as well
do for me.
Do something with it first before somebody come with me, because I ain't got it. So this is what I started doing. I went to the bank every day. Probably every week to the bank and got that money out of my pocket, so I couldn't use it for nobody else. Because a lot of the things you was doing was a cash paying industry. Yes. Yep. So if I'm DJing, I have a good week, probably $1,000. I have to wake up that morning and take that $1,000 to the bank because I don't have no more. Yeah. So I did it every week. Wow.
You did that for about 4 years?
Yeah.
To pay off the house.
I did it when we got married too. I took my money how I bought a ring. I took the money every week because a lot of people think they can't. If you chip at a goal, you will succeed. Excuse me. If you chip at a goal, yes, but you have to be focused on that goal. Yep. So
And I love that because let me say, like with my house payoff journey, one of the exercises I do is I just add a little bit to the payment so that it's a round number.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody asked me before, well, does that even matter? But that's me chipping at the goal.
Yeah, so I have
because when you chip, you don't have to feel it. It don't have to. You just know you chipping, and one day you're gonna look and be like, "Wow, wow, I carved a masterpiece."
Yeah.
One chip at a time. Yeah.
So that's my goal. So every Saturday, I went to the bank faithfully.
You know what's funny too? He doesn't operate with cards. He operates fully with cash.
Oh, okay, so no credit card lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I don't have no credit card. Yeah. If I buy something, I'm gonna put the money on my bank card and then purchase it.
Ah, yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So I got a bank card that's empty, but then I can transfer the money to the bank card and then use it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Wow.
And I don't carry cash. Total opposite. Don't carry no cash.
Wow.
And we have never ever had a bill cut off. I mean, service cut off. We have never had bills late. Maybe we forgot about something, but that's it.
You forgot about something. Because I did let you try to. Because he DJs, he went to the Guitar Center before. I have all the credit cards, so I have him as an authorized user.
Yeah.
And I think he didn't have his card, so he tried to get some DJ equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulled up my name. There was like,
I don't like the use. I don't
yeah, there was like, no, you need her here for us to do this. We can't give it to you. And I was like, well, Beaver, just apply for the card. So he applied for a card, went ahead and purchased
they gave
some.
me Max, so I'm trying to buy it. See, that's why I don't use it. Yeah,
Got excited. Girl,
that's why I don't use it. Cause
he charged his card or whatever, and then I'm like, okay, well, fine. You got a bill you can handle by yourself. Missed his due date and everything.
No, because I would just pay the bill. But Sean was like, yo, man, don't pay the bill. Just pay a portion of the bill so you can establish, But what I saw, I just want to pay it because I got it.
Yeah. He was like, I just want to let me pay it off.
Yeah, just pay it off. Yeah.
So I took over that bill for him too. I just paid it off. I was like,
And look, it was a small bill. It was like $200. I got $200 in my pocket. You know what I mean? So just pay the $200. And Sean was like, just establish credit. I'm like, why pay $30 or $40 for?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's America wants you to play that credit game, that credit score game.
Mm-hmm. So I learned a lot
it
from
no
him.
more.
Yeah, because I don't know if I know.
Yeah, I love it though. Oh,
I'm gonna buy a car.
Her dragging her feet.
I'm gonna buy a car in cash.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about. This is all the stuff we say you should do, but it always felt like it wasn't realistic to do. So I just love y'all giving a face to what's realistic. Like, it is very realistic. It is very realistic. And we can do it on teamwork. You can do it with whatever job you have.
Definitely.
There's always a side hustle that you can do.
Because definitely together we don't even make $100,000 together.
Oh wow!
And that's saying like not adding side hustles,
not adding the side.
Our main jobs.
Yeah.
So
we did one time, right?
Before you had your stroke.
But I don't know how. See, I don't know how much money she makes. Seriously. Seriously. I don't know how much money she make. I never seen a paycheck. I never asked her.
But I just absolutely love that.
It's just a provider. Yeah. You just want to make sure I'm good, right?
Yeah.
And I think what works out a lot is the fact that we're not materialistic people.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it easy too.
Because you're not blowing your money in a lot of other places.
Right. Yeah.
But we take a lot of trips though. Come on, man. We take a lot of.
But that's okay.
That's good.
Because you still gotta enjoy.
We take a lot of trips. Well, that's crazy.
No, but
you're still gonna enjoy life.
Why is it not good? Do you ever have a trip that you regretted?
Yeah. We went in Bahamas 19 times.
For the Bahamas, yeah. That
19 times.
Yeah, the Bahamas can get a little, like even me, I'm not going to the Bahamas. I only went because it was the whole Thanksgiving thing.
19 times. I can do it. I know the menu.
Yeah.
I know the menu.
You know the whole land.
I know the menu. The people know me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That money can go towards some other trip.
Yes.
Yeah.
We was gonna go June. I had to cancel it.
So with paying off the house, what strategies did you guys use? Like, first of all, I didn't not even know they were paying off a house. First of all,
That was funny
first of all, they never even talked about this out loud. Why not?
because
Why y'all got secrets?
It wasn't a secret.
It wasn't a secret.
So for me, I just basically would just add a little because I just learned like you just pay a little extra.
she was always paying extra.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it
I
was
was trying to
eventually.
pay off the house.
He wanted to do it all in one lump sum.
I was gonna do it for her for Valentine's Day.
Oh.
So we had two different journeys.
Yeah. So I basically was the chipper. I was paying a little bit as I can go,
Mhm.
and he basically was saving to say, I just want to drop one big lump sum on it
Wow.
and just pay it off that way.
So those were two different strategies.
Yeah.
I love this. You know what I also love about this? The fact that, because people always say, oh, as a couple, everybody has to be on the same page. But technically, you don't have to be on the same page. Because
Right.
I feel like that adds a lot of stress.
Yeah.
If you're not doing it her way or she's not doing it your way.
Oh yeah, that's
Right?
yeah. So our goal is, so if we have a goal, I always say, because I know how she works and she know how I work.
Hold on. What?
No.
Because you want to do something.
You can see the record. You can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way I can see what it's doing and I don't have to rely because it had
Right.
cut off and y'all weren't even paying
No,
attention.
I left Jay in charge for a brief second.
But you're not even going to be here. You just going in there. All right.
Yeah.
Continue. All right. Fine. Just make sure you watch it.
So we go about we go about our goals two different ways.
Yeah.
So we always do that. So instead of fussing at her goals, how she do it, instead of fussing at how I do it, we just come with a common goal and said $1,000. Can you have it by the 30th?
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you do, just have
However
it
you
by the
get
30th.
there, just
However you get there, just have it by the 30th.
Wow.
And we do that.
I love that. And I love how
you got to understand what you're dealing with.
you're the chipper.
Yeah, I am.
He's all or nothing. This is Gemini's is either extreme to this part or the extreme.
I'm a Gemini.
Yeah, it's an all or nothing situation.
I'm gonna kick him off the set.
Because how I would say it, like, a lot of people said they do something and something happens or something. I don't have time for that. I really want to focus on my goals. And I don't focus on my goals because if somebody's hurting and needed, I give my last for everybody. And she'll give her last for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But if first of all, I have to learn how to take care of myself first.
Yes.
That was the first thing. So this year, probably about the last 3 years, I started focusing on myself. So that's the most important part because I had to pay myself and accomplish my goals before I accomplish everybody else's goals.
Wow. So like I said, I just love that. You was like, I'm saving all my money to make a one lump sum huge payment.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm chipping away. And it's crazy because I'm one person and I find I'm doing both.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm chipping, but then I also have the bank account where I'm saving for the one lump sum payment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what did you do to come up with that extra money to chip?
So we was talking about going. Well, I was talking about going to.
Hold on. Do y'all see anybody sitting behind this camera? Exactly.
Y'all gotta edit.
Because you left. If the camera cuts off, you're not there.
Don't worry about that.
I went to go look at a situation.
And it cut off when he turned his back. Okay.
Don't worry about that.
All right.
What are you doing? Why would you do that?
All right.
Good. All right.
Yeah. So we was talking about a trip going to Italy, and he pretty much was like, "No, not going."
Because let me say this: they are travelers. Y'all think I travel a lot?
Oh.
They travel a lot. Fun and budget. Don't play with it. Go. Italy.
Right. So I wanted to go to Italy. And he was like, nope, not going. And I'm just like, come on, we got to go. And he was like, nope, I have a goal. Like, at this point, he knew how close he was to the finish line of his goal.
Nobody
But
knew.
you didn't know.
I didn't know. Because now this one here, he kept this one from me. So I really couldn't see what he had saved and everything. And so he was like, nope, I'm so close to it. I just want to go ahead and I'm trying to pay my house off. And so I was like, well, what you need? How much you need? 10,000 help you out. And he was like, oh yeah, that's the magic number.
Yeah.
And so I had an account that I put.
Oh yes, yes. I want to talk now.
Wait, what she wouldn't tell you?
Because what was the she never told me her college. You know, like everybody have college loans.
They went back to college.
Yeah, college.
Oh, you know I had some
loans.
student loans.
Yeah, student loans. My student loans got paid for.
Boy, boo.
Yes.
He just got forgiven.
10 years of government service, so they paid it off. So
Yeah.
I'm 3 years away.
yeah,
I'm
she's
almost
3 years
there.
away. So
Wow.
I'm debt free now. And I'm
No, we're together.
No, I'm debt free.
We go together.
She still got college loans.
We go together. Don't do that.
I'm debt free. She be like, "You want to get a car?" No, I don't want to get a car. Go ahead.
All right. So we was asking about. We don't know where the camera cut off because of. We were asking.
So I wanted to go on a trip
Italy.
to Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, nope. He was adamant, we're not going.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, man, you got to live life YOLO. Like, what are you doing? And he was like, I don't care. I'm trying to pay my house off. And I'm like, okay. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, we got a couple of years for that happen. So.
Because y'all had a big balance.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that at the end, but.
Yeah, because I'm just like, okay, that ain't happening tomorrow, so let's go to Italy. He was like, nope, I'm close. And I was like, well, what you need? What you need, like $10,000 to pay this off? And he was like, yeah. He was like, that's what I need. Give me 10. And I was like, okay, so let me check my account. So I had a mutual fund account with Fidelity that I had a couple of years ago, and I think I only had like 3,000 in it. Mm-hmm. And by the time I looked at it, because I remember somebody told me to change the stocks up in it, it had 10,000 in it. So I was able to withdraw the full 10. Well, they was able to deposit the full 10 in my account. As soon as it was loaded in the account, I gave him the heads up, like, it's there. And he was like, call the bank now. It was on a Sunday. He was like, call the bank now. And I was like,
wow.
It's Sunday.
Yeah.
Wow. So what did you do to get that large lump sum in your account? What were some of the things that... No, wait. No, back up. Because you didn't tell us what you did. Because I know what you did. But you didn't tell us what you did.
As far as
no, because there was a point. All right, no, I think I know what I'm trying to add into the story. Not that you necessarily use this for the house, but the fact that you would do DoorDash, and I want you to tell them your DoorDash strategy. Because once again, people think that you have to either make this salary or you have to have a part-time job that makes this amount. Otherwise, it's not worth it. But you have a strategy with doing DoorDash and Spark.
Yeah. So
how does that go?
So for me, I got to be to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. So
8 o'clock in the morning.
Every morning, I get up and do at least one delivery with Sparks. So Sparks average to about maybe anywhere between $20 to $25 in the morning time.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, my goal is I just need to hit something. It don't matter how big or small. I just need to get something extra than what I had before I start the day. So I do an hour before I go to work. On my lunch breaks when I'm at home, I take my lunch break. I do deliveries at my lunch break. And then when I get off of work, I do maybe about 2 hours. So my goal is, on an average, if I do that every day, I usually average about $500 extra a week.
Y'all hear that?
And then if I DJ, so DJing was $2,500 or $3,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So just DJing, that work.
Yeah.
So I never touched it for like 2-3 years.
It's more like 4 years. You kind of just put it to the side.
He did not touch his DJ money for 4 years.
Yeah.
$25,000 to $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Wow. And set that in the bank account that he says, I'm going to make a lump payment. So he set that in that bank account. She don't know, and I know you don't know, because sometimes Shauna will be like, I don't know what he do with DJ money.
Right.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know what he doing.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So then you get to this day where you're saying you're not going to Italy because you're almost there.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, how much you need? 10,000? And you're like, yeah.
Because our Italy trip would have been $7,000 to go to Italy.
Yeah.
And he was like, nope. And I didn't know that was what he needed. Because he was like, the price of Italy is the price to pay off my house. And I don't want to wait anymore.
So I had it in February, when January, but taxes come.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to. So I had to pay off taxes. So I said, my birthday in June, so I'm gonna pay it off by June.
Wow. See, he's trying to be like me because I'm his big sister.
Yeah.
But we had
because that was my goal. I said I want to pay my house off in June, and I was like, never mind.
Yeah.
I ain't about to make that goal.
And so you got to think about it too. In between time, we had an issue where half of our house lost the electricity. So we had to get the whole electricity restored and replaced, and had to get the
house.
What's that meter box moved? What is that?
The circuit breaker.
We had to get all that moved and everything. So we had to, for some reason, and it's crazy.
Everything happens.
The house we're in, we add an addition to the house and everything. The electrician said that the amount of wattage was not enough to carry through the whole house, and it was just shocked that all these years
that it was working. Yeah.
Yep. They said we just had enough wattage to just cover half of the house.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So we paid for the house, remodeled the house,
and then after that, and then the last year we had water damage.
The water damage. Now I remember that because then you had my uncle come look at to try to see where the damage was, and you came back in and he done took up the whole floor down to the studs where there was earth beneath the floor,
the dirt outside.
Yeah,
I went to the bathroom for a brief second.
He tore all that up.
Mm-hmm.
So that led them to have their kitchen remodeled to the highest extent of being remodeled. Like y'all had things moved, laundry rooms moved, pipes moved. Yeah. So all of that. And you were still going on vacations. How many vacations do you think you guys take a year? Well, took it
at least four.
At least four.
Because
everybody's...
And that was usually like international. Because I know I've been on a few with y'all.
Yeah, so at least four decent ones. And then we'll do like small getaways in between.
In between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 4 to 6.
Can you pick your feet up? Why do you drag your feet? All right. So, yeah. So, and I say that because it's like, so life happens. You're still rolling with the punches. You still have your goal. Life happens. You're still living life. You're still celebrating. You're still out there. And life happens.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, when you made your final payment, take us to that day.
We just laugh.
Oh, yeah.
We just laugh.
But I want them to know, how much was that final payment?
I still got it. I
thought you was carrying around in the car with you.
No, yeah, I still got it. I look at it every day.
How much was that final payment?
101,000.
Wow! They made a lump sum of $101,000.
Yeah.
Wow! That's amazing!
How much you got in your account now?
88 cents. No.
I think he did say that after he made the payment, he had 88 cents left in his account.
Yeah, I did.
Y'all did that.
Yeah, 88 cents.
Y'all did that.
Thank you.
Wow. That is amazing. I am so freaking proud.
I look at it all the time.
The first person in this family, what about your family?
My family too. Everybody.
The first people and families to have a paid off home, changing the legacy and trajectory of families. We can now look at them as an example of possibility and what can be done when you chip at a goal a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys celebrate?
She didn't want to celebrate. So I told her.
I still want to go to Italy.
I'm gonna take her there.
I still want to go on my trip.
Yeah, I'm gonna take her there.
He's gonna take her to Italy. I don't know if they can hear his voice.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
I took him to a nice little restaurant, and he
Cause I'm just so happy.
Wow. So what's next? So now that this goal is out of the way, first of all, do you feel like the difference in not having to pay a mortgage?
Yes.
He's so ignorant. I know he feels the difference.
Yes.
Because what do you pay for?
Because that number changed, right? That you have to put into the account.
Mine still stayed the same because it's automatic. Mine is just automatically going through. But he could not wait.
Yes, I paid half of it.
What you put in the account now?
$500.
Nothing extra.
To pay y'all bills for the month. 500 from you. It's supposed to be 500 from you.
It's supposed to be 500 from me, but
I don't know what she's paying.
He don't touch the account, so it doesn't matter.
I don't see it.
Wow, 500,
yeah.
And you're good.
I'm good. I can work at McDonald's. I'm good.
That's what I'm talking about. I said when I pay off my house, that's what that means to me.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to bust your butt to make a check to pay a bill.
Yeah.
He said he can work at McDonald's and it don't even matter.
What's our highest bill now?
Cable.
And how much is the cable bill?
I can't get him to drop this cable to save our life.
Yeah.
It's like $225. No. Ridiculous.
Yeah, y'all heard that right. $225.
It was $300.
Yeah, he won't let it go.
Yeah, because
he won't let it go.
Yeah, because
this is what I'm gonna deal with.
Yeah.
So
I like
half his money's going today on cable.
I like sports.
This is package.
But she likes to travel. Asked her what she done this year. Yeah.
Where you been this year?
Yeah.
Where you been this year?
I've been with
Iceland.
you. Iceland was last year.
No, it's the same year.
You're in the school year.
Within 12 months. Within 12 months.
Okay. Iceland. I remember that. She was definitely in Iceland. Oh, she was definitely in Hawaii.
Bahamas.
Oh, yes. We were all definitely in Bahamas.
Yes. Disney World tomorrow.
They're about to leave to Disney World tomorrow.
Yes.
But you're coming with me.
Yes, but still, she had 4 vacations already.
So, I still want to go to Italy.
And y'all was just y'all did Nag's Head.
To the beach.
Right? Yup. Because y'all never invite me. They never invite me. Why don't y'all invite me?
Because you crazy. No, we love you.
You don't want. Nobody ever wants me to go on this trip. I'm editing this out. I'm editing it out.
No, you always be with you.
Let me find out their next trip. I'm crashing. I don't care. So you see the new dearth of your checks and how they go. Mm-hmm. What's your next financial goal?
You want to treat me to somewhere?
No.
What?
You said no. She said we got to get the front yard.
Oh yeah, we do got to get
We got a lot of cars, so we got to.
Our front yard fills up like an ocean when it rains. So we're gonna get that cemented all the way through. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the next project.
Yeah. That's our next project.
Yeah. So it'll be done this summer.
But how much is that?
Who knows?
About $3,000.
Yeah. We're keeping it simple, you know.
I love it.
We're living a simple life.
I love it. Because I know we also said, I was like, are y'all going to get new cars? Because their cars are paid off. Y'all got paid off cars.
I don't want to.
You don't want to see a bill no more.
I don't want to see a bill no more.
That's what I'm talking about. I love it.
I don't want to see no bill no more.
Like,
bills are overrated. I love it.
Yeah.
Nope.
I love it. I love it. That you didn't feel like, okay, now that I paid off the house, now let me run out and go get this, or let me run out and go get that. I love it.
Do you think he want to give anything extra Then that 500 he gives monthly.
You know, I'm straight.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm straight.
He said it nothing extra.
Still, y'all pay that house off, what, 17 years early?
Yeah.
16.
16 years early.
Because this will be at 17.
Wow. 16 years y'all paid your house off.
It's crazy.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's the day after the pivotal interview, and my sister slept on this all night and had some things she wanted to say, or some things she felt she forgot to say.
Yes, okay. Do you want to ask me the question?
Okay. What's the question? The question goes back to manifesting paying off the house, because there was one key part we forgot to add.
Yes.
Talk about it.
So I was thinking about it, and so when she asked me the other day, like, what got us on this journey of paying off the house? And for me, internally, this was just something that I just knew I needed to do because of, you know, the things that we've been through in life and everything. So when we first got our mortgage, I always just sent a little here and there just to try to pay it off, because I knew eventually the huge balance would get paid off. But when we experienced that life change when my husband had his stroke, and you know, for weeks he was unable to talk, he couldn't communicate, and it was a scary moment because I didn't know where or what or how life was going to be after that point, because, you know, you just don't know at that time.
Now hold on, because we didn't even dive into that. Her husband right there hating on us. We didn't even dive into that. The stroke. I want to touch on that a little bit. We mentioned it, but I want to touch up on it a little bit because, again,
you just never know, like, what you go in, you know, where life's going to take you. And so for me, I know internally I never wanted to be homeless. Now I'm about to cry too. Like, I can't with her. Let's do it. Yeah, so, and it's like we lived a really hard life when we was growing up. And so it's just crazy, like, how me and my husband met and everything. And you just never know what you need in life or who you need. We actually lived on the same street for years and never knew each other until I was diagnosed with cancer in my 20s. And I met him when I was going through my radiation. Well, a year before I started going through radiation, one of my prayers was I just always wanted someone to be there waiting for me when I come out of treatment. And it goes back to the comment that I made about dying a married woman, because I was married before. I'm just going to say I was married before. And at the time of me going through chemo and all that, my husband that should have been there for me through sickness and health and better or worse and all that greatness, he wasn't there for me like that. And so it was a
But he
lonely
was
point.
there for me like that.
He was.
Because her husband is the one who was already, her ex-husband was the one who was kicked out of high school. So he became my babysitter when I had a kid in high school and nobody to help. He didn't go to school. So I left my newborn with him, even though he smoked weed every day, all day, every day. But yeah, that's the only way I graduated.
Yeah, so when I started doing my radiation, you know, sometimes he would come late to the appointments or say, oh, I can't get you there. And I had to do radiation every day. And then that's when I met this amazing husband of mine that I currently have, that God blessed me with. He faithfully took me every day before he went to work. Every morning he would take me. And the crazy thing is, he never knew I always wanted someone to be waiting for me when I got out of treatment. And sleepy or not, he would be sitting in a chair, sometimes eyes closed, getting a little rest before he goes to his shift. And he'll be waiting for me. And it just was like, it touched my heart. Because he never knew my situation, and I never knew his. So prior to us meeting, I didn't know his mother had passed away from cancer. And when he was in college, the family, because he's the baby, the family kept it from him because they wanted him to stay focused and stay in college and everything. So as his mother was getting sicker and sicker, they still kept it from him. And then when she passed away from cancer, something that he revealed to me later on, that he never got the chance to take care of her during the times that when she was sick. And so it was this kind of like, it was a full circle moment where God was able to give him the opportunity to take care of me. And so when I needed someone to take care of me, he was there for me. And I was able to repay the favor back to him when he needed someone to take care of him, when he went through his situation. So So one of the things that that just kind of touched me, and you just never know, like I said, what you're doing in life or what the plan is or why you're doing certain things. I just knew I needed to pay, make a journey of trying to pay the house off. But for him, he always been like this provider regardless of anything. Like he fully sacrificed a lot just to make sure I have. And it's like when you talk to him, he'll always say, I need to make sure my wife has better than me. I need to make sure this and everything. And sometimes I'd be like, oh, he's just showing off. But he truly operates in that. And so it's crazy because it's like my grandfather's no longer here, but he reminds me of my grandfather. It's just like my grandfather took care of all of us. When we became homeless, when we didn't have food, when we didn't have clothes, my grandfather, no matter what, and he didn't make all the money in the world.
And think about it. Wasn't I like, what's that little girl name? Aaliyah to Grandpa?
Oh, yeah.
Because Grandpa wasn't my biological grandpa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're sisters, that.
Oh,
right?
we're sisters. But he loved me the most. So.
She was the firstborn, so
Yeah, I was the first grandchild. So I was like Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm.
That was my grandpa. Was my grandpa.
Yeah, when she joined the military, he had us all get in the van and we
follow that military bus.
Follow the military bus
across states.
Across states. And like I said, so we come. My grandfather didn't have a lot of money, but you would have thought he was rich. Yeah. You would have thought he was rich. And the house that my grandmother stays in, that was just something that he wanted to leave this legacy. Like that was all he kept saying. I want this house for my family. I'm buying this house for my family. And so when I fast forward and I think of my husband, that's just kind of like when he had his stroke. And just to kind of say, let me just kind of jump here. So this here, I did write I had a God's Plan, my vision book. And so
that's
I wrote out.
Written on here. Mm-hmm. God's Plan vision book. Literally.
And so I wrote my list of 300 things. And when I wrote this list of 300 things, I did copy down the Bible verse, Habakkuk 2:2, where it just tells you to write your vision down, make it clear, make it plain, read over it constantly, tarry over it, and be patient because it will eventually pay off.
You have not because you ask not.
Yeah. And so I wrote this a couple of months after he had his stroke, and I just kind of was just writing things out. And so when I look at the book, so on my list of 300, number 2 on my list.
Wait a minute. And this was written on, it was written on October 25th, 2019.
So number 2 on my list was pay my house off before I turned 47. I first put 50 and then I crossed it out because it was like, dream big. Why you have to wait to a certain number? So I was like, oh, let me do it before I'm 47. And so what's crazy is this year I'll be 47. And we paid the house off. And I wrote this down not knowing how it was going to get done. So all I knew was like, he initially wasn't on board with the plan, but I was just kind of like just paying a little here and there. When he had his stroke, his ultimate goal was, I need to make sure my wife doesn't have to, and that was his big thing. Like, I don't want her to feel like she has to take care of me. So he basically depleted everything he had to pay the house off. And so when I think back when you asked us and you said, well, what do you have planned next? And to be honest, I know what I have planned next. It's not what we said when we talked about, okay, we're going to do the driveway. That has nothing to do with anything. But my goal personally is I want to be able to prepare for his retirement. He depleted everything for me, so I want to be able to pour back into him.
Now, this is where I think Jay comes in the picture on this beautiful scenery here. This segue. When you wrote that 300 list, where you found that idea from?
So
300.
I was listening to Steve Harvey, and I kind of like.
Oh, so Jay didn't come in this picture, but yeah, because I introduced her to the 300 list. I thought she.
But you got it from Steve Harvey.
Yeah, I got it from Steve Harvey.
Yeah, so I was listening to the Steve Harvey thing, but the amazing thing about that, when Steve Harvey talks about it, about the motivation, he's like, every successful, wealthy person they have vision boards, they have this. And it makes me think back to my sister, because I remember before she even purchased her first house, she had a vision board. And I remember Oprah was on her vision board. And and fast forward, we was able to go on the Oprah show and everything. And, you know, so it was just kind of like, it just kind of manifests things to me like, it is true. It is possible. You put out there what you want, not knowing how it's going to get done. I know I didn't have the money to pay the house off all in one lump sum like that. But whatever life took us through, it opened up the door to where he was able to do it, because all of a sudden paying off the house became his obsession. And he basically kept saying to me, I want to pay it off. I want to pay it off. You don't have to help me. And I was like, oh, wow. You know, I felt good. Like, okay, cool. I'm going to keep my little coins. But then when we talked about going on a trip, he just kept saying, I'm focused. I want to pay this house off. Like, if there's anything else I could leave for you, I just want this house to be paid off. And so that's when I threw out there. It was like, okay, well, what do you need? And I'm just throwing it, just being funny. And when I gave him the number, he was like, that's what I need. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, fine. Let me help you out so you can pay this house off. So,
wow.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that. Like,
Lord. Oh, that was good. Thank you so much. I think this might end up having to be 2 videos. But this was so exciting. Thank you for talking to us, the Fab Fam. This is thank y'all so much for sharing, for telling us all y'all business, because you know I'm a big fan of telling business. Yeah, so congratulations again.
You inspired us, though.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Why? Tell me. Tell us.
I remember probably about 8 years ago, you told me you got to change the crowd that you hang with, and to change things that you do with. Yeah, and I always remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you really got to change the people that you be around with.
Mm-hmm.
You concentrate on your goals, and that's what I did. Yeah. So,
well, y'all did that. Y'all knocked that out the park. Y'all did that.
Yes.
Y'all did it. I still owe $97,970.
You're close.
I'm close, but woo, child. But then remember, then I got laid off. Then you know a whole lot of stuff. And I'm like, So we'll see what happens. But I'm excited. I'm excited, and then we can all be together. We can all. We're gonna definitely have to go on a trip.
Yeah.
For the mortgage-free house, no mortgage, paid off journey trip. We'll come up with a better title.
Yes.
But
love it.
Wow.
Love it.
So thank y'all so much for being here, y'all.
Yeah.
Ask questions down there in the comments. Don't forget to thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And we are going to see y'all in another video. Until the next time, y'all.
Peace.
That's good. That was good.